Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of AT Fins News. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what's next for the Miami Dolphins, as well as the state of the Miami Dolphins now that it is the offseason. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? So, the first thing I want to discuss, I know I've been off for about a week now. I kind of took a week vacation just to kind of clear my mind for the season, just to gather my thoughts, to see really what this season was, because it was supposed to be this season was all supposed to be for Tua Tagovailoa, right? This was the year that we found out if he was the guy or not. And we've seen flashes, right? I mean, even for the the people that do not support Tua, I mean, we've seen some stretches of good, really good quarterback play. I mean, a lot of the fan base at the beginning, when he went on that 3-game streak with the Lions, the Bears, I believe the Texans or the Browns, they were calling him an MVP candidate. So we've seen high level of play from Tua, but then we've seen the inconsistency, right? I mean, the same inconsistency that's benched him his rookie year for sure with Brian Flores, and last year having fans wanting more and having a lot of questions for the kid. So we've seen that as well. And then what else did we see? The injury bug bit him again. This was his third year now as the the Miami Dolphins starting quarterback. He's been injured every year. He wasn't with us for the most important games of the season this year. So his health is inconsistent as well. So when we go into this offseason, we have more questions than we have answers for Tua Tagovailoa, even though this was the year, right? This is the year everyone said that it was make or break for him. Year 3, he's not going to get a year 4 if he's playing bad. Well, he had high level of play we've seen. He had low level of play we've seen. He had the same injuries, concerns that he's had since we drafted him, right? So, I mean, we're still left with we're still left with questions. And that's just not a good place to be going into your 4th year. I know the Miami Dolphins organization has already came out and said, moving forward, Tua Tagovailoa is our starting quarterback. That was actually, we got that alert like an hour before the Bills and Dolphins played. When we were in Buffalo, we seen it on Bleach Report, me and my brother, and we actually said, that's kind of weird that they came out an hour before the game and said we're sticking with Tua next year. But that's neither here nor there. But I don't know, guys. I mean, I know now. Our fans have been divided since the beginning, since we drafted Tua. It feels like, and it's only getting worse and worse. I mean, I've seen on social media and on Twitter some people so excited that we're sticking with Tua. This is a great move for the organization. He's gonna make this organization prosper. And then you see the other fans upset, rightfully so. Like I'm not here to bash either side. I get it. If you have hope for Tua, if you have hope and think he's going to be a good quarterback moving forward, I mean, more power to you, man. I mean, he has shown high level of quarterback play, but you still are just having faith that he can get there. We haven't seen high level play from Tua consistently in 3 years to say with utmost confidence that, oh man, he's that dude. He's gonna go out there. Well, we have a chance to win every time he steps on the field, and we're gonna be Super Bowl contenders because of him, right? I don't personally see it. I think that, I mean, for the fans that saying they're done with Tua, I mean, they want a new quarterback in here because all we're doing is wasting our time, wasting our window. Those fans are correct too, guys. I mean, what are we trying to do here? I mean, I've seen even on social media where we have some fans that are just excited that we made the playoffs. I mean, I get it. We do not make the playoffs a lot. I mean, we haven't made the playoffs since, 2016 or something like that. We haven't won a playoff game in 30 plus years. I get some of the fans thinking like, oh, well, we still made it to the playoffs. We should be happy about that. No, I mean, that's a losing mentality. That's a losing organization. And it's no one's fault. We've been a part of a losing organization. We've followed a losing organization for 25 plus years in the Miami Dolphins. We're mediocre at best year in and year out. We're never bad enough to get the number 1 pick, really, besides 1 year. And we're not good enough to keep this train going, you know? So we're always right in the middle, 9-8, 8-9, 6-10. Back in the day, I mean, 7-9. It just keeps going. The list keeps going and going of mediocrity. But we should not be satisfied, guys, in a fan base for just making the playoffs. We need to hold people accountable, the organization, some players that aren't playing well, because at the end of the day, it's Super Bowl or bust, guys. I mean, we're in this window right now that it's going to close really soon, and I don't think a lot of the fans realize this. The NFL nowadays is about windows. You have to hit in your window, and the window will be gone like that. So you have to hit, and right now we were in about a 3-year window. Year one's gone. Well, I'm talking about with the players that we brought in with like a Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle on a rookie contract. We don't know what we're going to do now with Christian Wilkins. Do we pick up the 5th-year option, which I'm assuming we do in the offseason? But we have a lot of contracts coming out, so we're in this 3-year window, right? We've already blown that first year. We didn't even win a playoff game. We didn't even see Tua in the playoffs for our team. So we have 2 more years to go. Do you guys have faith enough to just be like, oh, well, I have faith in Tua. He's going to lead us to the promised line in 2 years? What if he gets hurt again? We've seen it consistently. It's not a question of if Tua gets hurt. It's going to be a question of when he's going to get hurt in the NFL, because every year, like I said, he's missed games. So 2 more years, guys. Are we trying to go for the Super Bowl in 2 years, or we're going to just be happy that we've made the playoffs for 3 straight years? We have to start winning some games. This was the perfect time. I wasn't saying for them to win the Super Bowl this year. I would have liked them to at least get to the AFC Championship game just to know what we have in this team moving forward and fixing things here and there, just to try to get better, a little better to get us over that hump. But we didn't even win a playoff game, y'all. Like, not even a playoff game. I know it was a close game. We didn't get blown out. We didn't get embarrassed like the Giants. But hell, at least the Giants, they beat the Vikings. I know Vikings were overrated the whole year. I was telling people that the whole season. But still, at least they won a playoff game. They're ahead of the rebuild than we are, and they started later. So it just comes down to, what do you guys want as fans? Do you guys just want to be content with making it to playoffs? Not really winning, not being real true contenders in the playoffs, losing a wild card weekend every year. Because if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm not knocking you guys, but me personally, I want this team to be a contender, to go to in my lifetime. I'm 34 years old, and I've never seen my football team make it to even an AFC Championship game. In 34 years, haven't seen them once make an AFC Championship game. I've seen countless teams make it to AFC, NFC Championship games year after year. I've seen the 49ers make the NFC Championship like 3 out of the last 5 years. Don't even get me started on the Chiefs and Mahomes. I've seen them about 5 straight years. The Bengals are doing 2 in a row. They might even go to back-to-back Super Bowls. Meanwhile, we, as Dolphin fans, we can't even watch our team win 1 Super Bowl. So people have to be held accountable. We can't it can't be just like rainbows and butterflies and everyone's a kumbaya and everything's happy. Something needs to change. Our owner needs to figure it out. Our GM needs to just go for it broke and get a proven franchise quarterback, in my opinion. If you guys all still have faith in Tua, I have faith in Tua too. When he's healthy, yeah, he can play for us. He's not terrible. He's not bad. There's a lot worse quarterbacks in this league, guys. Tua's fine, but I want a guy to get us over the hump, a guy that we don't need everything around him to lead us. Look at last week, a perfect example. Burrow goes into Buffalo, snowing conditions, down 3 of his offensive linemen, okay? And he goes out there and just pretty much makes the Bills, embarrasses the Bills, for a better word. Embarrassed Josh Allen, outplayed Josh Allen to the fullest, made him look silly, and just went out there methodically, even ran the ball down their throat. You see when the Bills were trying to blitz Burrow, he always had an answer for it with a quick passing game, right where that defender left to blitz him. He had it all figured out. So, my personal opinion, we can even keep Tua. Keep him as a backup for a year or 2. Bring a veteran in. Let him learn from him. Get all these injuries healed, because I don't think he's been fully healed since Alabama days, guys. You can just see it. His mobility is getting less and less. He's really good at pocket presence, but his athletic ability, you can just see it deteriorating year after year. So to let him rest, get his head right with the concussions, and go and get a proven quarterback. I mean, it doesn't matter how old they are. I mean, look at a Tom Brady. If you bring in a Tom Brady, two things accomplished when if you bring in a Tom Brady. One, there's reports all out there the Jets are not going to get outbid for a quarterback. So you want to stick with the guy Tua? That's fine if you want to stick with him, but the Jets are going to go out there and get a quarterback, guys. The Jets are a quarterback away. A lot of fans are bashing the Jets, saying they're nothing. They're always going to be nothing. That's a ferocious defense, man, and they're all young. They're all getting better. The offensive line for the Jets when they become healthy again because they lost Vera Tucker all year. He was a stud. They have a young, great line. They have two great running backs that are young. Brees Hall's going to come back. They got Michael Carter. Look at Garrett Wilson. He's going to be a star in this league as a wide receiver. If we let Tom Brady go to the Jets, I mean, we'll either be third or fourth in the division. I mean, at the beginning of the year, guys, you got to think about it. It'll either be the Jets, Bills, Jets, 1-2, and us and the Patriots are going to be fighting for the third place in the AFC East. So if we go out there and get a Tom Brady, it keeps him away from our enemy in the AFC East, right? If we also go out there and get a Tom Brady, you know damn well Tom Brady is going to bring some of his guys or bring people that he knows will make this team complete because all he wants to do at the end of his career is compete for Super Bowls. He's always has loved a competitive advantage, right? He doesn't take anything in the salary cap because he wants the best of the best around him. And we already have a great core right now with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. They'll probably go get a tight end if Tom Brady came. They're definitely going to go out in center. They'll move Connor Williams probably to the guard again. They'll just be players that want to come here on the cheap, no state tax, in order to win a Super Bowl. So we get better in the long run, especially because we don't have to fork out 30, 35, 40 million for money for a quarterback, right? So that we're going to be able to add players and still get better instead of being handicapped if we go a quarterback route. So, I mean, those are kind of the options we have right now heading into the offseason. We still do got to talk about who's going to be our defensive coordinator. I figured Josh Boyer was going to get fired. I mean, he was kind of the scapegoat the whole year. You can tell Mike McDaniel did not trust him, right? So now it's Mike McDaniel. I mean, it's his job to go out and get who he thinks is going to fit this team the best. Just real quick on that coordinator position because it's real quiet. I know we're going to interview an up-and-coming one of the Seahawks defensive coaches to be the defensive coordinator. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, since we fired Josh Boyer, I want a veteran, maybe like an ex-head coach with experience running the defense where Mike McDaniel can just let him handle the defense. He doesn't have to worry about it because their philosophy is the same. Because you can tell the philosophy for Mike McDaniel and Josh Boyer did not mix. I mean, you can tell. Mike McDaniel wanted to run stuff a certain way, and Josh Boyer had his own philosophy behind it. So he needs to find a guy that he doesn't have to worry about the defense as much, focus on the offense and offensive play calling since he's such a young head coach. And yet last year was his first full year of calling plays the whole season, right? So, and you could kind of see that with play clock issues, not getting the play on time at times, especially in the crucial times like the playoff game. Not having any more timeouts, getting into the delay of game at 4th and 1, which is unacceptable. So he needs I think a veteran defensive coordinator, maybe an ex-coach. I mean, everyone's top of the list right now for good reason. Vic Fangio, one of those type of guys. I would love me some Vic Fangio in Miami. Either like a Vic Fangio, Lovie Smith, they just fired from Houston. Mike Zimmer would be good. Someone with the head coaching experience so Mike McDaniel can let them take over the defense, and he can even rely on him, ask him some questions after the game, and he will respect them enough to respect their opinion on what they think he can do better or improve mid-game. So, I mean, that's who I'm looking for. I'm going to be disappointed if it's going to be one of the young up-and-coming defensive player, our defensive coaches. I need an old veteran coach, and then I'll be satisfied that we got rid of Josh Boyer, because any of the people I just named right now would be leaps and bounds ahead of Josh Boyer. Because I'm not saying the defensive production's all his fault, because we all know there was injuries, guys, but there were just certain play calls on like 3rd and 18. He's running prevent defense. We miss a tackle. They get a first down. And that happened more than once. It wasn't just like a one-off, right? So I'm just hoping we get a veteran coach in here, guys, to actually shore up and coach this defense. Because if we all think that the scheme's going to change, our defensive coordinator is going to have to be a coach that's good at coaching and developing talent to fit the scheme that they want in the long run, guys. So again, guys, that's going to be our video for today. I just wanted to make one real quick just to let you know of everything going on in the Dolphins community, what my opinion on the matter is, what I want moving forward to give us the best chance to win a Super Bowl, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, guys, winning a Super Bowl. But other than that, if anything breaks or once we get a new defensive coordinator, I will be on talking to you guys about it, telling you guys my opinion, what I think about the move. But hopefully it'll be done sooner rather than later, because the longer we wait, we're going to miss out on some defensive coordinators that we could have offered or even got interviews for, but we just were on our hands and knees and kind of procrastinating. So hopefully they get on it. I know we're interviewing that defensive coach from the Seahawks, like I said, but hopefully we start seeing interviews with veteran ex-head coaches or veteran defensive coordinators. But other than that, guys, like I always say at the end of the videos, if you guys can please hit that like button when you enter the building to watch it or on your way out. And if you do like the content, if you can please hit that subscribe button, just so we can help grow this channel organically like we have been. And just because it is the off season, the videos will not stop. We'll try to do at least one video a week. If there is breaking news, we'll do 2 videos a week. When we start getting closer and closer to the season, training camp, the draft, stuff like that, we'll start making 2 videos a week again, guys. But other than that, like I said, like always, guys, fins up.